Science is all around you. My experiment is to show how water can boil at room temperature. Many people believe that water has to be hot in order to boil, but that is not true. Water at sea level typically boils at 200 degrees Fahrenheit, but by decreasing the pressure, we can lower the boiling point. As the water is boiling, the liquid water is turning into water vapor. This experiment is not a new concept. In fact, the science behind the experiment was discovered by Robert Boyle in 1662. His discovery would become the first gas law. We're not talking about a law like speeding in your car, but a chemistry law. It is called a law because as long as the temperature and amount of gas are constant, the law will be true. Boyle's law states that the pressure is inversely proportional to the volume. In simpler words, reducing the pressure in this mason jar is making vapor, which means the volume of vapor is increased. Robert Boyle found this by using a hand-cranked vacuum pump and different amounts of mercury liquid. The mercury liquid varies the pressure inside the glass jar that he used. If this seems confusing, seeing the experiment in action should clear everything up. Let's take a look at the needed materials. This is a vacuum pump. It is typically used for air conditioning and refrigeration installation and service. This is a gauge manifold. This shows the pressure in an air conditioning system. However, we'll be using it to show us pulling a vacuum on the mason jar to make the water inside boil. We filled this mason jar with about 100 milliliters of water. I drilled a hole in the top of the mason jar and installed a fitting, which connects the mason jar to a hose. This hose is connected to the gauge manifold. The hose from the manifold is connected to the vacuum pump. Now let's show how this works. Now, I'm going to start the pump and it'll pull a vacuum on the mason jar. This will cause the water to boil at room temperature. Now, if we let this pump on, the liquid water will eventually all turn to vapor. This video has been brought to you by science.